Hi, I'm Chris Barker, Director of Technical Services for Jet-Lube. For decades, Jet-Lube has developed and delivered high-quality, high-performance anti-seizes trusted by industries across the globe to protect threaded connections and keep equipment running reliably. In this video, we're going to cover two important topics. The first is the purpose and function of anti-seizes, and the second is general anti-seize selection guidelines. So, let's dive in. The purpose and function of anti-seizes. Anti-seizes are very similar to grease, but with additional thickeners and fillers to create a more paste-like consistency. They also contain metallic and non-metallic solid additives that provide a wear-resistant barrier between the surfaces of fasteners and metallic components. As the name implies, anti-seize prevents threaded fasteners from seizing and sticking together, allowing easy loosening and removal in the future. Seize prevention is accomplished in a few ways. First, anti-seizes prevent galling of the fastener threads and surfaces. It also prevents oxidation and rust between the threads and prevents galvanic corrosion between chemically active metals. Anti-seizes also act as a thread lubricant, which can reduce the amount of torque required to properly tighten fasteners. For critical fasteners, check with your anti-seize manufacturer for the proper nut factor and then recalculate the required torque based on that. Moving on to the anti-seize selection guideline. You've probably noticed there are many anti-seize options. What's the main difference? The solid additives used in the anti-seize. Common solid additives include metallic particles made of aluminum, copper, nickel, and zinc. And common non-metallic solids include graphite, molybdenum disulfide, and some boron and calcium-based solids. When choosing your anti-seize, there are a few factors that must be considered, such as you must know the operating temperature the fastener is going to be exposed to. Some solids perform better at higher temperatures. You also must know the metallurgy of the fasteners and machine components exposed to the anti-seize. Some dissimilar metals can react with each other. And then you must identify any process chemicals the anti-seize will be exposed to. Chemical incompatibility can cause major problems. Knowing chemical or material restrictions due to environmental or safety regulations is also necessary. There are some restrictions against certain metals, which are common. Now, let's discuss the common types of anti-seize and guidelines for their use. General purpose anti-seizes, for example, Jet-Lube Silver Plus Regular, typically contain aluminum or zinc and sometimes copper and graphite solids. They're ideal for most steel and aluminum fasteners up to about 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit or about 538 degrees Celsius. And usually they are the least expensive and most widely available option. Copper-based anti-seizes, for example, Jet-Lube Copper Coat Anti-Seize, are fortified with copper particles and often contain some graphite. They're suitable for most steel and copper alloy fasteners up to about 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit or about 980 degrees Celsius, and they provide higher electrical conductivity than other anti-seizes. And this could be something that needs to be considered for some applications. Next up are nickel-based anti-seizes, for example, the Jet-Lube Nickel. They're fortified with nickel particles and commonly exclude all other metal solids and graphite. They typically carry the highest temperature rating of common metallic anti-seizes and are usually good up to about 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit or about 1,300 degrees Celsius. They are also chemically inert and have very low reactivity. The low reactivity makes the nickel-based anti-seizes suitable for most consumer and industrial applications. However, they are usually the most expensive of the common metallic anti-seizes. When metallic anti-seizes cannot be used, non-metallic solids are an option. Non-metallics like Jet-Lube 550 Extreme typically offer good high temperature performance and must be used when your operation has metal sensitive processes or there are regulatory concerns about metal contamination. Unfortunately, the lack of metal solids does typically reduce the ultimate extreme pressure wear protection and prevention of galling in the threads. With this information, you're better prepared to select the right anti-seize for your application. If you'd like to discuss anti-seizes further with an expert or need assistance with a special application, feel free to contact us. We're available by phone or email. Visit us at jetlube.com.